A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah Almighty from Satan, the rejected one. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. By the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Inshallah, today we will study 21st Ruku of Surah Al-Baqarah. However, first of all, let's review what we studied in the previous Ruku. The first thing was that Allah Almighty never ordains for blind following. He asks us to ponder on His signs which are exhibited in this universe and demonstrating the mastery of their Creator. Reflection upon these signs leads to one conclusion, that all this creation has been planned, is maintained and controlled by a single omnipotent, and that is Allah Almighty. Secondly, there are certain people who ascribe omnipotence of Allah to others and love them. However, the true believers love Allah Almighty more than anything else. And they demonstrate this by acting upon His commands willingly and wholeheartedly. Thirdly, those people who ascribe partners to Allah Almighty will realize their mistake once they will find the results of their misconduct, which will be visible to them in the shape of some punishment. And at that time, their leaders will disown them. And such people would desire to have another cycle of life to pay to their leaders in the same kind. However, they will have to bear the consequences of their deeds. Now, let's start our today's session by praying from Allah Almighty to give us the true understanding of the Holy Quran by the grace of Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Surah Al-Baqarah, that is chapter 2, Ruku number 21, from verses 168 to 176. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya Yuhan Nasu, Kulu mimma fil arzi halalan tayyiban. Wala tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan, inna lakum aduwwum mubin. O mankind, eat what is in the earth, lawful and good, and don't follow the footsteps of Satan. Indeed, he is to you a clear enemy. So let's have few alternate meanings of the words which are underlined. And the first one, halalan, lawful, having no bindings or no strings. Tayyiban, suitable, decent, good for you. Khutuwat, lines, ways. Now, declaring something permissible or forbidden is prerogative of Allah Almighty and His Messenger. So anyone doing so actually sets rival to Allah. Therefore, O mankind, partake and enjoy the lawful, good and wholesome things of the earth. And don't follow the footsteps of Satan, as Satanism leads to rebelliousness, and satanic people follow self-desires, they violate divine commands and leads others into transgression. Innama ya'murukum bis-su'i wal fahsha'i wa an taqulu 'ala Allahi ma la ta'lamun. And he only enjoins you by evil and obscenity, and that You say about Allah Almighty what you don't know. The first underlined word, bisu, by evil. Al-fahshai, vulgarity, nudity, immorality, stripping of clothes, or we may say indecent acts. Satanism teaches you to create inequalities, lewdness, and stinginess amounting to shame. And that you should say about Allah Almighty what you don't know. Now, standing people in society set up rules contrary to the divine commands. They make their own lists of permissible and forbidden, and they teach the people hoarding of everything and create a society in which some people have piles of the wealth while others have nothing. As Surah Al-Baqarah, that is chapter 2, verse 268 states, Satan threatens you with poverty and orders you to immorality, while Allah promises you forgiveness from Him and bounty. And Allah is all-encompassing and all-knowing. Likewise, Surah Al-Araf, that is chapter 7, verse 33 states, Say, my Lord has only forbidden immoralities, what is apparent of them and what is concealed, and sin, and oppression without right, and that you associate with Allah, for which He has not sent down any authority, and that you say about Allah which you don't know. Allah's command is that you shall consume out of the resources given to you by the Allah. Consume it yourself and spend it on the people, whatever is beyond your needs. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ اتَّبِعُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا أَلْفَيْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا أَوَلَوْ كَانَ آبَاؤُهُمْ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ شَيْئًا وَلَا يَهْتَدُونَ. And when it is said to them, follow what Allah has sent down, they say, rather we would follow that whereupon we found our forefathers, even though their fathers had not understood anything and nor had any guidance. The first underlined word, al-faina, we found or we saw. And second, awalaw, although, nevertheless. The only argument which such misled people have for their unjust system is that they have inherited these things from their ancestors. Now, that is not a valid argument. What if their ancestors were lacking in understanding and were not rightly guided? It's the book of Allah which sets up criteria for right and wrong, lawful and unlawful, truth and falsehood. But they will never accept this criteria. Hence, whenever they are asked to follow what Allah has revealed, they would say, no, we will only follow footsteps of our forefathers. In other words, they will follow in the footsteps of their ancestors even if they lacked knowledge and wisdom and didn't have the right guidance as revealed by Allah. A mention about such like people is made in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that is chapter 5, verse 104. And when it is said to them, come to what Allah has revealed and to the messenger, they say, sufficient for us is upon which we found our fathers, even though their father knew nothing, nor were they guided. Similarly, Surah Yunus, that is chapter 10, verse 78 states, they said to Musa alayhi salam, have you come to us to turn us away from what upon we found our fathers, and so that you too may have grandeur in the land, and we are not believers in you. No, blind following of the ancestors is in fact habit of non-believers. As stated in Surah Saba, that is chapter 34, verse 53, and when our verses are recited to them as clear evidences, they say, this is not but a man who wishes to avert you from what your fathers were worshipping. And they say, this is not but a lie which has been invented. And those who disbelieve say of the truth when it has come to them, this is not but obvious magic. The Holy Quran doesn't ask for blind following. It encourages us to carry out research, meditate, think, and ponder on the verses of this book, as everyone is accountable for his own deeds. وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا كَمَثَلِ الَّذِي يَنْعِقُ بِمَا لَا يَسْمَعُ إِلَّا دُعَاءً وَنِدَاءً صُمٌّ بُكْمٌ عُمْيٌ فَهُمْ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. And the example of those who negate is like that, who shouts at someone who hears nothing but calls and sounds, deaf, dumb, blind, so they don't understand. First underlined word, Jan Echo, shouts by a shepherd to drive his goats. Dua, a request. Nida, loud voice. Now, such an attitude of blind imitation reduces human beings to the level of sheep and goats. Led by a shepherd who has learned few words or a particular calls from his elders and uses them to direct his herd. Now, such are those people who blindly follow their forefathers. They are deaf, dumb, and blind. How can they be called human beings? Surah Al-Araf, that is chapter 7, verse 179, makes a mention about such people. And we have certainly spread out for hell many of the jinn and mankind. They have hearts with which they don't understand. They have eyes with which they don't see. They have ears with which they don't hear. Those are like livestock. Rather, they are more astray. It's they who are the heedless. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum washkuru lillahi in kuntum iyyahu ta'budun. O you who have believed, eat from the good things which we have provided you, and be grateful to Allah Almighty. If it's only Him that you serve, Iyyahu, only Him alone. So, O believers, beware of such like attitude, and note that people who are blindly following their ancestors have imposed upon themselves various self-created restrictions regarding what is lawful and what is unlawful. Allah's law is that you should enjoy His bounties which He has given to you and be grateful to Him by utilizing these things as per His commands and sharing these means of nurture with others, and especially the needy people. Now, if you obey this law, it will demonstrate that you are indeed obedient to Allah Almighty and you accept no authority other than Him. The verse 268, which we have discussed earlier, was a command for the whole mankind. And this verse addresses the believers. They can demonstrate their belief by obeying commands of Allah Almighty wholeheartedly. إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل به لغير الله. He has only forbidden you dead animals and blood and flesh of swine, and that which has been named with someone other than Allah. The first underlined word, harama, prohibited, banned, illegal. Second underlined word, al-maitata, dead animals. Ad-dama, blood. Lahma, meat or flesh. Al-khinzir, swine or pig. Ohilla has been dedicated. Now take note that Allah has forbidden, number one, carrion, the meat of dead animals. Number two, blood. Number three, flesh of swine. And number four, any animal that has been consecrated to someone other than Allah, be it a person, an idol, or a tomb. Some more details are given in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that is chapter 5, verse 3, and you may read it at your own convenience. This verse continues, فَمَنِ اسْتُرَّ غَيْرَ بَاغٍ وَلَا آدٍ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Then whoever is forced by need, neither rebellious nor transgressor, so no sin upon him. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. Asura, forced by necessity, or we may say that his life is in danger due to hunger, and he needs something to immediately eat. Bagin, disobedient, defiant. Adin, breaking the rule. Isma, sin. Now, however, if someone is faced with a situation that he doesn't find anything else to eat except those mentioned in the earlier part of this verse, and his life is threatened by starvation, then one may partake of what has been declared to be haram, but he is to keep in mind following conditions. The first one, that is forced due to hunger and has no inclination of sin. Number two is not forced out of greed. Number three, doesn't desire to violate divine law. And number four, he only that is essential to save the life. Now this case will not constitute a sin, as Allah is all aware. He would protect you, and your potentialities would continue to grow due to His mercifulness. Almost similar mention is made in chapter 16, that is Surah An-Nahl, verse 115. That states, He has only forbidden to you dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine, and that which has been dedicated to other than Allah. But whoever is forced by necessity, neither desiring it nor transgressing its limits, then indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُمُونَ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَيَشْتَرُونَ بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. Indeed, those who conceal what Allah Almighty has sent down from the book and barter it for a small price. Yaktumun, hide. Yashtarun, they purchase, buy or exchange. Now those people who conceal Allah's law regarding halal and haram, that's a lawful and unlawful, as mentioned in the Holy Quran, and they start making their own lists of halal and haram and make that a means for attaining petty gains. This verse continues and it will tell us the consequences they would face. Ulaika ma yakuluna fi butunihim illa nara wala yukallimuhum Allahu yawmal qiyamah wala yuzakkihim walahum adhabun alim. Those consume nothing into their bellies except fire, and Allah doesn't speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor does He purify them, and for them is a painful punishment. The only underlined word, butunihim, their tummies. Now, such people may appear to be very affluent, but in reality, they are preparing an inferno for themselves. They eat into their bellies nothing but fire. On the day of resurrection, they will not receive the blessings which flow from the adherence to the divine law, and their potentialities will remain unfulfilled. Now, this will be a dreadful calamity, and they will realize at that time that they had traded Allah's protection for ruin by forsaking the right path for the wrong one. How foolhardy it is to walk toward an inferno of devastation knowingly. أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى والعذاب بالمغفرة فما أصبرهم على النار. Those are the ones who bought guidance for error and forgiveness for torment. So how enduring they are upon the fire. Fama asbarahum. So how tolerant they are. It's those people who take error in exchange for guidance and torment for protection of forgiveness. How steadfast are they in their pursuit of fire? They are certainly overestimating their powers of for the ruin which awaits them, and that will certainly overwhelm them. ذلك بأن الله نزل الكتاب بالحق وإن الذين اختلفوا في الكتاب لفي شقاق بعيد. This is because Allah Almighty has sent down the book with rights, and indeed those who differ in the book, surely they are in extreme dissension. Shikak, opposition, discord, schism. Ba'id, far away. The term Kitabul Haq is usually translated as Book of Truth, that determines everyone's right. In any society, an atmosphere of law and order can be ensured when everyone's rights are protected. And those who pursue their personal priorities violate the human rights, and that is what causes unrest, instability, and infighting in this society. Allah Almighty has sent out this book, which is based upon reality and truth. It's free from contradictions and any ambiguity. And those people who seek dispute in the book are in open schism, and they vehemently oppose each other. They invariably drift away from the right path and head towards destruction. The basic reason for the differences amongst us is the lack of true understanding of the Holy Quran, not pondering on it, nor meditating on it, and nor following it. As mentioned in Surah An-Nisa, that is chapter 4, verse 82. Do they not reflect upon the Quran? If it had been from other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradictions. And Surah Al-Furqan, that is chapter 25, verse 30 states, and the messenger has said, O my Lord, indeed my people have taken this Quran as something discarded. A short summary of the ruku we just concluded. Authority of declaring something lawful or unlawful rests with Allah Almighty and His Messenger. Therefore, O mankind, partake and enjoy the lawful, good, and wholesome things of the earth. Satanic people make their own lists of lawful and unlawful. They mislead people and enjoin them by evil and immorality. When such people are called to follow divine commands, they insist to follow their forefathers blindly. Such an attitude of blind imitation reduces their potential to the level of herd of animals. Eating carrion, blood, flesh of swine, and meat of an animal consecrated to someone other than Allah Almighty is unlawful. However, if someone is forced by necessity to save his life, he may eat from above mentioned on the condition of having no inclination of sin and transgression, and he only consumes that are essential to save his life. The major reason of differences among the believers is not understanding the Holy Quran. May Allah Almighty grant us the true understanding of the Holy Quran, and may we act upon it according to the pattern of Allah's beloved Prophet, Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.